Hey everyone, welcome to my video, and this video is all about Ravana. I do have the flu, so my voice might not be as normal. And yeah, I times non-Ravana part by ×2. So as you can see, it's quite fast. This invader actually should have jumped onto this beacon. I think this guy missed his timing. This invader becomes a target. I transport back towards this beacon, and this invader is done. And I'm basically trying to activate as many enemies robot ability as possible. This Leo goes down, it gets melted. I saw this Aojun land. Hopefully I can take this guy out. Yes, and yeah, I'm getting fired at by multiple enemies. I used Phantom and Mercury as my first and second pick. I didn't use the Ravana because this was a long map and I kind of wanted to be safe. Use the Ravana when there are, I guess, less enemies towards the end of the game, and by having, I guess, less enemies and titans around, I can move around a bit more freely. This Blaze Amber Mercury was surprisingly fun to play with. I have two thermonuclear module and last stand on this, so I'm getting chased by Aojun here, but I'm kind of in cover. And basically I'm trying to kill as many guys as possible. Not much strategy here other than putting some pressure onto this left beacon. One thing crazy about Ravana is that it can phase shift up to like 5 times because you have 2 ability, and if you have the foolhardy pilot skill, you can use it twice, and while you're using that phase shift twice, you get one of your ability back, so 5 phase shift, which is pretty insane. And dropping into Ravana, and I think this was my first time dropping into one. Now I did feel quite slow in this spot, so that was another surprising factor because I didn't look at any stats or anything. So when I'm using the ability, it's quite fast. I'm trying to avoid this Aojun, and I guess maybe it's not that slow after all. I think it may be just because all the stuff that all the new content have been pretty fast, and I guess relatively kind of felt slow. But using the ability, it's extremely fast. Not extremely, but it's fast enough for this meta. I use this ability to get into cover or avoid enemies' attack. In this case, try to chase this guy down, but I really didn't like the cryo on the Ravana. Maybe the cryo isn't for the Ravana. I like the igniter and scourge, especially with the scourge. You can close up that distance into brawling distance, which was kind of what Bulgasari did, and that's why that build was Scourge Bulgasari was such a deadly build up to today. And I'm running this igniter build, and this is definitely a hit and run build, and that 5 seconds cooldown was amazing. This was Trebuchet Behemoth, and obviously this guy was looking right at me, so I had to use my phase shift and one of my ability. This guy notices me chasing him and drops into this Ao Ming, which I'm able to cook up because I have this igniter. And after unloading, I'm just going right into that phase shift mode, and then once I get out of it, my ammos are reloaded. So I expect another players or that same player to spawn in here to defend that beacon, and basically I try to activate that guy's ability and hide in cover using my ability. I'm actually trying to save my last stand, because if you have the last stand, you can shoot enemies while you have the last stand. With phase shift and this ability, you can't really shoot your weapons. So right now I guess I'll just use my last stand to kill this Aojun, and Fenrir drops in, and one more bot and ends up dropping in. I think don't know what it was. Oh, for now it was Fenrir, and I was able to cook up this Fenrir as well with that ability. This guy did waste quite a bit of his rockets, and a leech and one more bot. I think a Titan drops in. Yep, Titan Kid drops in using the stove effect, which is kind of difficult to hide away from, especially even with the, I guess, minor cover. So I'm just trying to do my best at hurting enemy spawn as much as possible using that phase shift. And yeah, this is where I go down, but I did manage to take out multiple enemies, and I'm sure that I was very annoying to enemies. So what's really deadly about the Ravana is that it wastes enemy robots' special ability. So no matter how deadly that ability is, once you go into that phase shift mode, or whatever it's called on Ravana, you can't really do anything. Nothing works. Even if you have an incredible amount of firepower, you won't be able to hit Ravana. And on top of that, using phase shift the module, the Ravana is kind of, it moves around really freely, I would say. And this game's wrapped up here. They were already meching when I dropped into this Ao Ming, and that was Story on Canyon. Let's see the score here: 3.5 million, 3 beacons, 11 kills. Nice. And now we're dropping into Shenzhen, starting off with the Phantom, and I fast forwarded this part as well, just going quick to get this beacon, attacking this, pressuring this Phantom so this guy doesn't come and get me or get that beacon. Spawns in behind me, so I spawn in behind him, so I'm taking him out. And yeah, the Phantom is still extremely fun. It's one of the, I think, skillful robots out there. I know you can make an argument that it's OP compared to like older robots, but I think this is one of the skillful robots out there. So I'm really liking the Phantom, and it's a great beacon runner as well. I just dropped into Cryo Ravana, my least favorite Ravana, because from my experience, the reload has to be a little bit quicker, because using Ravana's ability, you are able to engage so many times against the enemies that you just don't have enough rocket to really attack enemies. And I think the igniter is perfect for it. Even the Scourge is a good weapon for this. And I'm not saying that this build is bad, Cryo. I'm just saying that personally I like the Scourge and Igniter version of Ravana a little bit better. The Corona one is pretty decent, but I still like other ones better. Maybe it's because I enjoy playing the Igniter and Scourge a little bit more. So took out that threat on Beacon D, and I'm putting pressure on their home beacon, so that so this is a position where I don't want enemies to be around. Especially bots like Phantom can really be a pain in the butt. And the enemy has Beacon D and their home beacon, obviously, and they're trying to keep that center beacon to keep 3 beacon lead on us. And one thing about the Ravana is extremely wide. So me not being used to this spot, I'm getting stuck everywhere, which isn't that good. Especially when you're trying to avoid enemies that are fast. Especially the Aojun, when I was trying to cut corners and avoid Aojun, it was a little bit difficult, because I guess it was my first time using it as well. But yeah, I didn't expect how wide the spot was. It's kind of like Bulgasari in a way. And I'm trying to defend this beacon, and of course I'm out of rocket. And I guess a lot of people would say you have to be patient, you have to just let that rocket reload somewhere. But I do like the Cryo Leech. Having 4 Cryo is quite the difference. You really kill that enemy, and with having 3 Cryo, for some reason, I guess that extra Cryo is a huge difference, because I do feel that I always run out of rockets in moments like this. And using my ability, and I have my phase shift as well, I'm trying to get the center beacon here, and I failed pretty terribly trying to get this beacon because Kid spawns in and uses its stove effect, and I'm getting cooked up here. As I mentioned several times in the video, this is probably my favorite version of the Ravana, and I don't play it that well in this match, I don't think. And it's my favorite because of the damage output and its reload time. Kill this Falcon quick, and this leech was threatening Beacon D, and I'm using my ability, and I'll also have my phase shift, so I'm kind of sitting on it with this guy, and I have phase shift, which I triggered just right after this leech is becoming a target, and this enemy's Aljun ended up attacking me, so I lose quite a bit of health. Chase down this Aljun, but I get stuck because I don't realize how wide this spot is. But yeah, with splash damage, trying to get this Aljun, and I think my best bet here is to stay around the buildings, because once they fly, they have to chase me around the building. But there's two of them, so it wasn't a very good run with the Ravana. But I just like to show how you can defend the beacon with Ravana's several phase shift. So dropped into my Mercury, safely defended this beacon, and let's fast forward this from here to the end of the game. Basically, this part I'm trying to kill this Arthur, and then one of my teammates, Arthur, spawns in, and they're attacking from all angles, and I didn't want my teammates Arthur to be attacked from the side, which there are no shield. So while that guy was occupied, I'm over here. I was hoping to really kill this Fenrir and take this beacon, but that didn't end up happening. So I'm defending the center beacon using my phase shift, going around, defend the center beacon because we need the beacon. This is the end of the game, and I didn't want to lose that center beacon, which is definitely the hardest to get because there aren't much covers. I got this beacon, and it seems like two guys are left, two Ares, and if we can just keep these three beacons, the game is going to be over, and that basically wraps up the game. Let's check out the score here. 3.3 mil, 9 kills, and on to the next game. To be honest, I don't really like this map, Dreadnought. I've never liked it. I don't know if I will ever like it in future. And I'm using my Scourge. The idea here is to use my weapon. Usually it's Phantom going for this beacon, so I won't be missing any shots, pressuring that Phantom and going in. And it looked like Trident Behemoth was pressuring this side as well, using my ability again, pressure this guy, and I'm probably getting more damage than I should have, which wasn't that good. So I'm basically trying to kill this guy. While I'm using the ability, I'm kind of hoping my teammate will attack that guy, but this guy transports back, and he triggers my last stand, and I hated that. And this Behemoth is basically defenseless in this guy's mode. No last stand, still in this guy's mode. I guess he's just trying to do as much damage as possible. Maybe I think this guy should have pulled out this build maybe mid game, and considering how fast paced current gameplays are and how much brawling it takes place, I don't know if that is an effective build, but I have seen guys use it well, so it also depends on player skills. Now I'm in my favorable position here. From up here I can basically target guys going for Beacon D and guys engaged in Beacon B, which is behind me, and I'm putting some pressure on this guy. Let's engage onto this guy. And I'm liking the Scourge one, Scourge Ravana, because of its the weapon's reload time. I think that really matters a lot, especially for this spot. Being able to engage so many times, you really need a weapon that can match up its characteristic. And I'm kind of moving up the ship now. It seems like 1, 2, 3, 4 guys are onto this left side, so I have a lot of targets to hit. Whether I'll do enough damage, we'll see. I think this is a leech using its ability, which I probably shouldn't have been shooting at. And once this guy loses his ability, this guy went down pretty fast. And it seems like all 6 guys are on the left side, which is kind of good for me, but at the same time they'll be shooting up here as well. So good thing I have 2 ability to use on the go. And I probably should have been shooting at that strider, doing a lot of damage and moving in and out. I'm trying to kill this leech that has low health, but I saw that guy probably has his ability back by now, so I'm trying to attack this tier. I think I'm shooting at a tier, not sure what it is, but and it seems like 2 guys are kind of moving towards the center beacon, but I still have a lot of targets from here, so I'm trying to kill as many robots as possible. I'm kind of shooting while taking in damage anyways, because there's none of my teammates are down there, so they'll mostly be engaged onto me, and I felt like I wasn't contributing enough to the game at the moment, so I'm doing as much damage as possible and trying to get out of this spot really. Around this time, and I definitely do expect Titans to show up, and I saw a Titan just right in front of me shooting at me. Don't have much health, but this is what I kind of meant earlier. Close up that distance and then really attack that Titan. I didn't have much HP or my ability or phase shift to really execute that kind of I guess strategy or gameplay, but I mean the idea was kind of there. Luckily I have one more Ravana, Igniter Ravana, to showcase in this match, so I'm using the Amber, which has splash, so this guy goes into cover and my splash will still get this guy. This guy went out of the cover. Now my primary target for this is really attack the Titan, because what's really powerful in this current meta is Titan. I'm kind of hesitating whether I should go down and fight from under or just kind of go up onto this ship and fight from the top, attack this Ao Ming. There's an Arthur down there, but I know that the Ao Ming can be more deadly in this at this moment of the game. So reloading at the moment. This guy's basically aimed right at me, but I decide to go for it anyways. This guy loses a lot of his shots while I was using my ability. I'm willing to spend this last stand on this guy because I saw that guy having not enough ammo. So but this guy went down, the Ao Ming went down, so I'm trying to defend this beacon from this Arthur. So this Arthur is a lot slower target, and it's, I guess, easier to unload my igniter, especially when this guy was getting this beacon. He has to stay there, so Arthur just basically got melted there. And yeah, and especially with the Ravana having Corona, or trying to go up to Titans, right up to its face and kind of engage that way isn't that effective, because the kid has the stove effect and the Arthur has blast wave, so going up even with like 5 phase shift isn't a smart thing to do. So I drop down, try to attack this Falcon, but my primary goal here is to get this beacon, and that Ao Ming is almost dead, and this Glory won't do as much damage as I'm doing from this far. So got this guy, got this beacon, my teammates spawn in, and I guess it's kind of perfect time to defend the center from enemies towards my right at the moment. But I'm kind of hesitating whether I should go for their home beacon or defend the center, and I decided to go for the center beacon. And the Ao Jun spawns in. Good thing my teammate's Ao Jun has its ability, it's phase shift, but this enemy is outnumbered 3-1. So this game is also basically pretty much wrapped up. So overall, what do I think about the Ravana? Okay, I'm not really big fan of phase shift. Phase shifting, being able to phase shift about like 5 times isn't that fun, and I'm sure squad games are gonna be like going to transition into some sort of Ravana gameplay. Having extremely incredible firepower titans out there, I think the Ravana really suits the current meta at the moment, definitely more than the Leech. And that is it for me today for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe for more contents, and if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And I don't know what next video is going to be, but I'll think of something entertaining to watch. Catch you on the next one, guys.